Okay, chapter 3 is a very fun chapter. It's actually, in Java, the chapter 3 is kind of the same, covers the same material. So I was kind of thrilled when I saw that what this chapter covers. This chapter is about code and other secrets. Okay? I'm not covering all of this as I did in the last one. I mean, is it okay with y'all me skipping some of like all the circle stuff and okay? But this chapter goes into different encryption techniques, ways of doing them. But it doesn't give you the easiest one. So your program is going to be do the easiest one. So it wasn't in here. But I'll assign that next week. Okay. But it starts talking about strings. So I will say that strings are probably the most widely used thing in this language. Okay. So when we start talking about strings, yeah, just remember it's used a lot. Okay. So I'm going to start typing what they're typing here. I'm just going to follow along here. So I typed hello. Hold on, I'm not down to the... Let me restart my shell, actually. Restart shell. There we go. Okay, and I get hello. Reason is, I basically gave it a string and it returned a string to me. It really didn't do anything with it. Now I'm going to type world. You notice anything difference between the two things I typed? Other than the words are different. Quotation marks are different. The first one has double quotation marks, the second one has single. Y'all see that? It doesn't matter. Most of the time. Okay? I stress most of the time. We're going to see where it matters here in a little bit. Okay? So really, I gave it a string. It just output the string on the screen. So now it's A equals hello. We're making a variable called A. It's equal to hello. So if I type A, I get hello. Nothing special there. If I type B equals world, doesn't do anything. But then they have let's go. They should print let's go. So, could I print hello world? What do you think? How could I do hello world with what I have so far? A, B, hello world. Or I could actually do A. Can I do A, B? I don't think I can. I don't think I can do that. No. We haven't learned. I have to concatenate it. We haven't got to concatenation yet. So if you do A, B, it's going to be like, huh? So you can't do that either. But you'll see how some of them have single quotes, some have double. Now let's type this thing she did down here. She said, how are you? Then left. Okay. Alright. Python breaks all the rules here. This is where it varies from other languages. In Java, in C, and C++, a single quote goes around a character. There'll be like one character. Okay. Anytime you have more than one character, that's called a string, and you need a double quote. Python doesn't care. And in Java, if you want to print a double quote, you actually have to use escape character. In Python, you don't. You'll notice right there I printed a double quote. So in Python, if you want to print a double quote in your string, the entire string has to be outlined in single quotes. Okay? If you want to print a quote with a single quote in it, it's got to be outlined in double quotes. But if there's no quotes inside of it of either kind, it doesn't matter which one you use. So you see, let's go. Where'd let's go? Okay, let's go had a single quote in it. So I use double quotes on the outside if there's a single quote inside. How are you has a double quote in it. So if there's a double quote in it, I use a single quote on the outside. I see that? Or else it doesn't matter. If there's no quotes on the inside, who cares what you use? Pick whichever one you feel like. Use double, single, whatever you feel like. It does say that up here, by the way. It's all right there. See, I actually go through this before I come up here. Isn't that handy that way? Okay. Concatenation. Remember a minute ago I was trying to print hello world, didn't go so well? But I bet if I put A plus B, I'd get something. The plus sign is addition, but when using it with strings, it's called concatenation. Okay? Now, how can I make it print hello world with a space between them? Anybody? The colon on A or B? Close, but here's what you need. I want space. I think that's kind of what you're talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be AA.
Oh, no. So what I told it was, print A, then the string A, join a space to it, and then join the string B. That's called string concatenation. Okay? Simple, you'll use it a lot. You will positively need it for your next program. Okay? Last night in computer security or cryptography, I was a broken record. This slide's on the test. This slide's on the test. Well, this is on your next program. Okay? You will need concatenation. All right. So let's see. I can also do it with a single quote there. Because, like I said, it doesn't matter. I could use a single quote, double quote. You know, I like that it allows both, but I don't like it. The reason is, maybe it's teaching us to be a, what's the word for it? A non-precise programmer. I mean, because if I'm going to, a lot of times when you use script, you might end up programming in real languages as well. I mean, full language, not just a scripting language. And that would cause issues. It would be like, if I tried to print, if I did that in Java, it'd be like, it ain't happening. So it's kind of, I like that it works, but it's kind of like, it might get you to be reliant upon doing it weird or lazy ways. I don't know. It's not really lazy, but you know what I mean.
What is the main difference between script programming and
script programming is normally an iterative language. In other words, it just does something. You don't have to write an entire program. You don't have to get it compiled. See, the big problem is, like say I write a program in C++, okay? It's processor dependent. So if I write it for Windows on a 64-bit machine, it's going to run on a 64-bit Windows machine. If I write it for a Macintosh, it's only going to run on a Macintosh. Python, it's an interpreter. It actually interprets, not iterative, an interpreter. It interprets every line. So it just does what it's told. It doesn't have to worry about compiling it and special like that. Java is platform independent. You can make Java work on anything. The reason is when you compile Java, you really don't compile it all the way. You compile it halfway, like into bytecode. And then you use what's called a Java virtual machine or Java runtime edition on your phone or on your computer or on your refrigerator to run it. So it's, these don't get compiled. They just do what they're told and that's it. So if you want to do something real quickly, this is where you can do it at. And in the security field, I know some of you are cybersecurity majors. I had a couple luncheons with Devin, the head guys at Devin. They get between 200 and 300,000 hits on their network per minute. Per minute. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 a year. That's how many hits they get on their network. And he said we need Python. Because a lot of times you just want to do something real quick. You don't want to sit there and write an entire program and compile it. You just want to do something. That's why scripting is helpful. Okay? It's funny because Danny Smith, one of our students, finished here. He went to work there as an intern. And he found something on their network. He saw something and he reported it through, they have a kind of like a Wikipedia page internally where you put all your notes. He put it up in there and they're like, okay, thanks. But he was an intern, hadn't been there long, no big deal. Well, then, right near the end of their internship, there was a major network incident. Something happened. Something got into their network and was causing issues. And then he raised his hand. I told you guys about that almost 2 months ago. I put it on my page. And they're like, I'll be darned, you did. So they were like, he actually found it when it first started happening, but no one else saw it until it escalated to become a real incident. So they actually offered him a second internship. And then Google just contacted him and said, come work for us. So he's over at Google right now. It's like, I mean, you know that movie, The Internship? Mm-hmm. That's what happened. They literally sent him an email that says, hey, we want you to apply for an internship. We're going to call you on your computer. And he applied, and he got the hat, the Noogle hat, and with a little umbrella on top and everything. So he's still out there right now. So, yeah. Paid his way and everything. So it's, so we do this, and we switch the script because that's what our customers need. If you guys are going to work somewhere, it would be nice to use something that's actually being used in the market. I mean, Java's used, but in this field, you'd be a lot more better off knowing this. That's why we switched. So, just in case you're wondering. Okay, repetition. It's kind of cool. It's doing things multiple times. Okay? Let's do that. This is a really nice feature of it. You'll actually use it later too, but I'm going to show you. So if I say go times 3, it's going to say go, go, go. It's so easy. It's like you don't have to make a loop. So I'm willing to bet you could have actually used draw square times 3 and would have drawn it 3 times. Hold on. Let's try that.
That'd be awesome.
Where did I put it? Come on, where did I put the darn thing? Recent files. There it is, chapter 2. Okay. So let's set, let's get rid of this for loop. Okay, so I'm going to try draw a square. Num times. Okay, make sense? Let's see if it works. No, it didn't. Darn it. So you can't use it on method calls. No, you can't do it on method calls. That was a good try though. I had to check it out. I know. Yeah, it didn't work. So I just wanted to try it. But I mean, you might be able to get it to work. I didn't try that. That's what I was wondering. So where were we? Okay, we were on. So we did go times 3. Okay. All right. So here, let's go times 3 plus twins times 2. So you see we actually have 2 different pieces of repetition along with the string concatenation. So it should say go, go, go with a space between each one. Twins, twins. I'm guessing. Let's see what it does. There it is. Well, it's also on the screen. I guess it could have just looked there.
That's where the spacing comes in, because I do know about spacing. You know, put it all together. So,
Yep.
okay.
All right. Now, here they have the next one, which is hello world. I'm going to do it without the parentheses. Okay, I'm doing it a little bit different than they did. So since I did not put parentheses, what am I going to get? Anybody? I'm going to get hello, then world 3 times. I think that world's going to be duplicated. Should be. Okay? Because it only pertains to the thing directly in front of it. So now, let's bring this back down. Put my parentheses around it. Now I should get hello world 3 times, which I do. Isn't that special? And this is just fun. Come on. This is fun. I love working with strings. They're so much fun. Alright, now let's talk about indexing. Square brackets is what's called the index operator. Now we'll look at these examples and see what's really happening. Okay, so name equals Roy G. Biv. Okay? And if I say first equals name 0. What that's saying is, first of all, the first line says create a new variable called name. Actually, I'm going to change it. Hold on, we're going to change this a little. Put your name in. So there, I got my name in name. Now I'm saying first is equal to name 0. What that did is it took the string name, it took the first character, but that's a 0. So if that's the first character, why did I put a 0 there? That's right. It's actually the same in Python and Java and C. Visual Basic is not. It's one of the only languages it's not. But the first in strings, the indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. So now if I just type first, I should get K. So what would happen if I change this to a 1? Now what is first going to say? Anybody? A what? Can't hear you. Second letter, an E. Okay? Remember, strings always start at 0. Okay. So let's go back and put first the way it was, just so I can follow along with his example. Okay, middle. Alright, name. How many characters in my name? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're just going to go with number 4. Yeah, that'll be close. So I got middle care. Now if I type middle care, I should get the D. Which I did. Okay. Now his next example is kind of cool. For I in range, len, name. Let's talk about what the heck that means. It says, okay, we got a for loop. So for I, in range, length of name. So how long is name? Name is 9. But remember, our for loops they continue until the stop value minus 1. So it's actually going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And I want to print name I. So far so good? There it is, Ken Dewey. Alright, it started at the first one, it just printed all of them. Now I just typed in that right there. Okay? Pretty simple. Okay, this will come very handy in your next program. Just not this one yet. Excuse me. Alright. Continue on. Alright, now let's do name minus 1. And basically it's telling it to go to the end of the name, back up 1 character, and print it. Okay? If we do name, length of name, I keep typing the wrong parentheses, minus 1. So what this is going to do, so it's going to take the name, it's going to get the length, which is 9, subtract 1, so it's going to get the 8th character, which is actually the same. Everybody see that? I don't... Okay. Whenever you're working with strings, So I actually had someone submit a program to me the other day with the C Cipher program. Same one you guys are going to have to do, but you have to do it in Python. He asked me how many characters are in it. I'm like, use length. It tells you. You know, if I want, how long is my name? If I say print length of name, tell me it's 9 characters. So if you need to do something, you know, from 1 till X, well, how big is X? Well, it's length. So len name is like your friend. You know how to. In Java, it will be named at length with parentheses. So it's a little different. Not that much. Okay, it's totally different. But it does the same thing. Okay? So far, so good? Okay, we're going to finish up this section before we leave here. Okay, slicing. Okay. You'll use this sometimes, but basically it cuts it up. Okay, let's look at some examples. Okay? So we got our name already in there. We're going to say name 0:3. Okay? So basically what it says is I want a substring or a slice or a portion of name starting at 0 and going to 3. So 0, 1, 2. And it's actually 3 minus 1, so it's 1 less than. So what if I wanted just en to print? Anybody? 1:3. 1:3. So start at position 1. Remember, strings start at 0. So start at position 1. Go to position 3 minus 1. It's always minus 1. That's the way it is in all these languages. So it's always minus 1. It's even, remember, range stops at minus 1. You know, that kind of stuff. So, all right. So let's walk through this next example here. For I in range of length of name, print name 0:I. So print starting at 0, 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 0 to 3, 0 to 4, 0 to 5. And it's going to print all of them, and there we go. Okay. So why didn't I get the last character? How can I fix it? Because I want to see the last character. Yes. I got to add one to it. Someone said just add one, which is true. So you can tell it plus 1 right there. Hey, hold on. I didn't hit enter. There it is. Okay. If you missed what I did, I just told it for I in range length of name plus 1, because remember the length, it always returns the actual value, but it's actually 1 less. So 0 to 8, because range only stops at 1 short. So, all right, everybody see how I did that? Okay. You will, in your next program, have to increment through a string. And there's a prime example of how to increment through a string. How can I modify that to just print out the K, and then just the E, and then just the N, and then just the D? Anybody?
K.
K is 0. Let's try, what happens if we use just an I in here? Oops, hold on, I gotta bring this down. See what we get. What? Let's get rid of the plus 1 for right now. Ah. All right. There we go. Okay. So basically we said print out whatever's in position 0, then position 1, then position 2, so on and so forth. Okay. The other way we had the whole thing. So, all right. So, there's some other characters. We talked about concatenation already. That's the plus sign. Then there's the asterisk, which is the repetition, how many times. Then we talked about the brackets. We talked about the length. We did not do in yet. Actually, I want to pick up. Yeah, okay, let's look at this last part, and then we're going to be done for the day. Okay. So I don't want to do the next part yet. Okay, I'm going to get this so I can see it on the screen. All right. So now I'm going to say, well, he doesn't give an example of that one. Actually, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Hold on. Didn't he give us an example? There's that. There's that. No, he doesn't give it to us. Okay, so we're gonna pick up. We'll do the example on that one next time. We're not there yet. We're gonna pick up on 89 next time. Everybody, so far so good? Remember, we're going to pick up on 89, and we'll finish that up next time. There's just too much to cover today. We only got 10 minutes left.